to somehow get back to base here. Let Me has been sitting in lane for a long time against this Ornn. He's been able to craft a lot of items in lane. Jackie Love
just chilling.
Jackie Love's been able to pick up an Iceborne Gauntlet for himself. Abel's gone back to base and completed his own Static Shiv and Berserker Greaves.
Now committing to the more defensive route here, Jackie Love doesn't want to go towards the Trinity Force route. He's going to go for the Iceborne Gauntlet, which is perfectly valid, especially when he is sitting in a side lane against a Vayne. And Abel's gone towards the Static Shiv, so not a lot of AD to be seen. He's going to be more W reliant, and I don't know which one he's maxing actually.
And RNG are keeping a tight grip on RNG here. Mid lane, outer turret, incredibly low from the poke of RNG. Let Me has been constantly pushed in by Duke, and it seems like RNG need to make a move soon. If not, they're going to be strangled out.
He is looking towards the mid lane. Shockwave on as well.
Big shockwave onto 3 people, but RNG do not take that chance to engage. Xiaohu going aggressively forward against Jackie Love. Gets some good poke down, locks down Rookie as well. Ning is waiting in the wings to see if he can jump over into the fight as well. But that mid lane outer turret, it's going to go down in one more push.
And I admire what Xiaohu did there, going forwards knowing that the shockwave is down. And there's honestly no crowd control. We mentioned this at the start of the game for IG after that point. But still they have presence. They weren't using the shockwave to kill their opponents. Xiaohu did there, going forwards knowing that the shockwave is down. And there's honestly no crowd control. We mentioned this at the start of the game for IG after that point.
Now,
but still they have presence.
They weren't low on health. IG continue pushing in towards the mid lane.
There's honestly no crowd control.
Kasa here inside the building, but he's able to flag and drag back towards his base. Xiaohu going to take that time to try and get back to base as well, get some more mana, get his health back. But Jackie Love constantly harassing any RNG member underneath this turret.
Just pressing Q off cooldown at the closest target every single time. His Targons has been upgraded as well. He's got the shield. There was a teleport very deep from Rise.
Xiaohu trying to go for the big flank. Maokai ultimate's going to come in as well. There goes Rise. Doesn't try to take the portal in. Jackie Love as well as Rookie banding together, trying to get the fight against the Rise. Abel pops his own ultimate. It's a fight on 2 fronts, and Xiaohu's in trouble. Big shockwave on the right side. Ornn's going to throw in the ultimate, but gets blocked by Ming. Ning's going to jump in. He picks up first blood. Chasing down, Kasa now jumps over the wall. The rest of IG still trying to push forward with Baolon and Jackie Love with the flash, with the arcade shift. 2-0 for IG.
Shows the confidence, and they continue to push forwards here. Rookie with so much cooldown reduction. I couldn't believe he had the shockwave up and available already, and that was off RNG trying to make a play, going forwards, being pressured into this position. IG take everything. They win the fight.
They win the fight. They've taken down mid lane outer turret, and now they're moving straight towards the Infernal Dragon. Baolon and Ning going to try and pick this one up. Ornn's return towards the top side of the map. They win the fight. They've taken down mid lane to this turret as possible. Outer turret, and now they're moving straight towards the Infernal Dragon. Baolon and Ning going to try and pick this one up. Ornn's return towards the top side of the map. They win the fight. They've taken down mid lane to this turret as possible. Outer turret, and now they're moving straight towards the Infernal Dragon. Baolon and Ning going to try and pick this one up. Ornn's return towards the top side of the map. They win the fight. They've taken down mid lane to this turret as possible, and now they're moving straight towards the Infernal Dragon.
He's just walking around
going to try and pick this one up. Ornn's return towards the top side of the map. They win the fight. They've taken down mid lane to this turret as possible, and now they're moving straight towards the Infernal Dragon.
He's just walking around
going to try and pick this one up. Ornn's return towards the
sees the opportunity to attack, to go forwards, picks up a nice little snipe there.
2 kills picked up by IG. Now 2 Infernal Dragons as well. They look like they just want to continue putting on pressure against RNG. He mentioned they needed to make a play. That was a botched attempt coming out from Xiaohu's flank. But what is the next step for RNG here? Because they're slowly falling further and further behind in game number 1.
Really, from this point, Fish, to be perfectly honest with you, it's just to keep scaling. They have the Vayne. They'll always be able to team fight late game. But so far, when you're a composition that has a Maokai that's not really contributing just yet, of course he's not behind, but he's not ahead. You've got a Rise that's gone towards the Abyssal Mask, so he's pretty tanky. He's got a lot of cooldown reduction, but his damage isn't all completely there unless he's hitting a carry specifically. They are just trying to scale, keep getting items, get more damage out.
It's a 2,500 gold lead for Jackie Love in the bottom lane. Rookie, 1,000 ahead of Xiaohu, and Ning, 1,500 ahead of Kasa. Let Me and Duke fairly even, as so is Baolon and Ming, as IG make a play towards the Repel, which was about to despawn. 19 minutes, 30 seconds into the game.
They should be able to get this one perfectly fine as well. Just before, so well timed from IG if they're looking to use the Herald. Because they don't know who wants it. They've decided that Rookie will be the person picking it up. There was no sweeper, so I would have preferred it on Ning personally.
Rookie immediately moves towards top side of the map. He has blue buff as well as that Rift Herald. And top lane turret has already taken a beating from Duke. And RNG losing that mid lane in a turret as well is detrimental to their map vision and control.
Tom Kench is already going to bring people up as well. Jackie Love knows exactly what they're after. It's not just the turret.
Going straight for that turret dive. Let Me in trouble. Tries to lock down Ning, but they are just chasing him down one after another. But look at this. That's a poor position where Jackie Love gets in and up by Balan to try and get back to safety. Let Me's in trouble. He's the first to fall in the fight. Java locks everyone in the arena. Jackie Love trying to get away from Xiaohu, but On will be able to knock him back up. Xiaohu wants to move forward. Abel doesn't take the ultimate. Abel looking to try and see if he can jump in as well. Xiaohu flashing forward, locks down Duke. He's going to get stunned up as well. RNG fight back. Abel gets that kill. Ming trying to kite back as well as Rookie goes forward, flashing in. Xiaohu punishes the mid laner from Invictus Gaming. RNG turn around the team fight.
Rookie takes the worst possible opportunity to go forwards there just after the rest of the team wanted to back away. He saw the moment where he might have been able to get a kill, but he still probably would have died as an end result. Xiaohu and Abel, actually hope we get to see a replay of that. He's got the Infinity Edge. They're super strong now, but they weren't even that strong before. IG, they see an opportunity. They want the structures. They see more than just that opportunity because it could have been a Baron if they get the kills instead. They were looking for the Baron. How'd that backfire?
Top lane out of turret does fall in amongst all that action. RNG are able to turn around the team fight, but still it's now 3-3 on kills, and here's that fight once more, Rusty.
The importance of this is how quickly Xiaohu is already here to help defend Let Me, to push away the rest of IG. Not just that, but the amount of damage that he is able to do here. Balan very quickly is going to eat up Jackie Love, so he doesn't have that available to protect anybody. Ming, again, Ornn doesn't even get to use his ultimate in this game. Duke's not having a very good experience, and meanwhile, Xiaohu has just been bodying them. Abel takes it. He wants to go forwards. He's happy to. There's no shockwave. Again, no crowd control. What's normally a risk when Ornn applies brittle to you is not really a risk anymore.
And Abel's positioning really good in these team fights as well. Rookie flashing forward for that one. Doesn't get it against Ming.
He wanted, even if he killed Ming, like fantastic, but Rookie dies for it. That feels super dangerous for the team. Again, they were fighting around the Baron. Surely it was in the back of their mind. With no shockwave, he decides to use his flash at the end of a losing fight.
And as you mentioned, Abel was able to pick up Infinity Edge as well as Static Shift before that fight happened. Jackie Love is still incredibly strong with his Manamune fully upgraded. Iceborne Gauntlet, Blade of the Ruin King already picked up on this 80 carry. However, Zhonya's now for Xiaohu, as well as his Abyssal Mask, going up against the Void Staff Morello Nomicon, picked up by Rookie.
Yeah, IG really just pushed their luck in the last fight a little bit too far. RNG have still got their item spike, so now they're pretty strong, but you look at the goal difference between the teams, it's all still Invictus Gaming. It's all still the ball in their court, and they should still have complete control of the Rift, and they do, but they're not looking towards the Baron just yet. They're moving around everywhere else. From here, inner turrets, blue buffs, it's all theirs.
5 members strong, moving towards the bottom side of the map. They have good vision control over the Baron buff at the moment, leaving Duke down here. No teleport is available for the Ornn.
And of course, important that IG didn't show themselves bottom. They walked down there, yes, to protect Duke, but if they revealed themselves, RNG were situated around the Baron anyway.
Infernal Dragon coming up in 30 seconds as well. That would be the third one for Invictus Gaming. They can pick it up, and look at this. RNG sneaking into the Baron pit. Well, they know this is happening right on top of a control wall, trying to burst this one down as fast as possible. Rookie jumps in, true shot barrage. That's going to be Jackie Love sniping down Ming all the way from the mid lane. Xiao is forced to flash away. This starts a team fight. Kasa's going to take it down. And look at that. Everything is available for IGD to snap up and collect underneath the noses of RNG.
Amazingly, RNG still commit to the decision. What looks like a good move at first with IG being visible bottom lane completely backfires. That is the strength of Tom Kench. That's the fact that Rookie was already there to hit a shockwave because not everybody rotated to the bottom lane. The play wasn't completely to get the inner. It was still around trying to force RNG to make desperation plays. Well, now they're 10k ahead with a Baron, and they're still pushing.
And 2 Infernal Dragons to add to their advantage that Invictus Gaming have over Royal Never Give Up. 24 minutes into the game. They'll take 3 Elemental Dragons. They'll take down the Inhibitor. And if we thought they had firm control of the game earlier, they are definitely in the driver's seat later on this match.
3 Infernal Drakes with an Orianna, Ezreal, and a Kha'Zix. We get to watch this again, and that's important to note because even at 2 Infernal Drakes, you'll see what the Kha'Zix is able to do to little unsuspecting AD carries that want nothing to do with this. Abel stuck in the back of the pit. Shockwave hits, Ezreal ult hits. No chance to put up the Braum wall. He's going to be taken down, and look at Abel. He's alright, he's very dead, he's no longer alright. Pretty much just the way that Kha'Zix is going to work from now on. He's got another Infernal Drake, That was the Baron.
And they just snap up everything. Questionable decision-making from RNG there. They knew there was control word on the Baron. They knew as soon as Rise took them into the pit, they'd be spotted out.
They just thought they could do it quick enough. They didn't expect how quickly IG would rotate when they were literally at the bottom lane in a turret, but they got there quick enough. They were able to make the play, IG, and whether it was confidence from them or just miscalculations from RNG, this is the state of the game we're in as a result.
RNG have constantly been trying to take it to Invictus Gaming in this game, but it has not worked out for them so far. IG now pushing towards the bottom lane. 5 members strong. Baron buff available on each and every one of them. Even a Guardian Angel has been picked up here by Ning. They will slowly steamroll through the base of RNG.
And respect that he hasn't even upgraded his boots. Straight to the Guardian Angel. He's got the magical footwear, and he is as happy as you can be. And now they start to threaten. Crowd control not even a factor anymore. They've just got damage.
Let me in trouble. Gets taken down by Jackie Love. Even throws out the True Shot Barrage for good measure. Bottom lane inhibitor turret is going to get taken down. On trying to charge forward. IG just want to go for kills here. Xiaohu left with a sliver of health. He's going to fall. Rookie gets that one. Abel trying to be the hero in the back lines, but it's not going to happen here. Jackie Love does get taken out. Only the Vayne left alive alone underneath his own fountain. IG are going to try and push for the win.
Honestly, nothing Abel's able to do in this situation. He's just going to have to die.
And he's going to be taken down. He gets taken down by Duke from the top lane. Invictus Gaming are able to get all the kills possible here, and they march towards the Nexus, taking down RNG in game number 1.
Pretty clean game from Invictus Gaming with a 16,000 gold lead. A very quick showing from them as well. They're able to take down RNG. Maybe it's full force RNG, maybe it isn't. It's very hard to tell. Game number 1 between Caster and Abel. You have to wonder if subs are going to be on the table for RNG after that, but let's just talk about IG a little bit more because they were clean, they looked pretty good. Very strong showing.
Paul, they certainly did. I mean, we were already talking about Jackie Love coming into this game. He looked clean. No nerves from the young blood. No nerves from the 17-year-old kid. We saw him talking about what he wanted from IG in this split, and in game 1, he delivered.
And to put it simply, Fish, he played Draven in the Demacia Cup. If he doesn't have confidence, I'm not sure why he's playing Draven at all. Jackie Love does look like a man on a mission. He said in the video that he thought that IG were going to be stronger with him there. He wants to win the whole split. Well, that's a pretty good step 1.
And there you go. It's the stats for that game. IG in firm control. And joining us on the desk to go through that game is going to be none other than Clement Chu. Welcome back to the desk, my friend.
Yeah, that was a great game to watch. I just want to point out in terms of the draft picks, I feel like RNG really needed to get more out of their mid and jungle duo early in the game. The reason they let that Orianna through against a very low-range composition was because they thought they could punish with the Jarvan-Ryze combo, but Orianna did not constantly push when she could. She actually held it back and denied them that opportunity. They knew that they could just snowball off the bot lane, and they went really steady with that.
Yeah, pretty clean stuff actually from IG recognizing the places that they want to focus and not going aggressively unless their jungler was nearby, right?
Yeah.
And they were able to do fantastically in that bottom lane for Invictus Gaming. We saw Abel come into the roster for RNG. Not many people expected him to be starting in this match instead of Uzi in this game. He picked up the Vayne, which was a very aggressive move coming out from him. It didn't seem to pay off. It kind of put that bottom lane in the back seat.
I really feel like compositions these days, you can't run double scaling in your mid and in your ADC position. The current build for Vaynes right now is the crit build. You go 3 items crit. It's a very, very late spike, even compared to someone like Ezreal who gets his first spike 2,700 gold in with the Iceborne Gauntlet. So we've seen this composition fail over and over again in the Demacia Cup, and I feel like if RNG are going to play in the second game, they will come up with more points where they can snowball the game early, or this is like way too slow for this style.
The only compensatory thing that you usually get with 2 scaling AD carries and mid laners is like a lethality jungler, but Caster didn't go lethality. He actually went defensive with armor boots and something like a Jace even in the top lane as well. You need to win somewhere on the map to compensate for the fact that you've got 2 scalers, but what we saw in this game was IG just win lane, every lane, and then win jungle as well. No contest at all.
And RNG did try to make those proactive movements throughout the mid game and a little bit towards the late game as well. We saw Xiaohu go for the flank. We saw the top lane fight as well as that sneaky Baron attempt. But even though they were the ones that seemed like the aggressors, nothing really paid off after IG's dominant early game.
Yeah, and I do think like a lot of the Baron play was forced because they were going into triple Infernals and there's not really much you can do to contest there. They did get one good team fight, and I really want to give compliments to Ming for blocking multiple Ornn ultimates. He blocked 3 of them that game, and that's what snowballed the top side of the map. But when they lost, reset it on the map, they lost control of the bot side. It was too late to contest for that, so they were kind of forced into that Baron play, and it was just like a slaughter from there on.
And moving into this next match, IG still going to go up against RNG. It is a best-of-3 series. What are the changes we can expect? Do we see Uzi come back in? Do we see different draft picks coming out from these two teams? What are the key points to take away from that first match?
That's always the first question. Is Uzi even here today? Is he backstage waiting to
We
play?
don't know.
We don't know. Is MLXG here? Because we know that when RNG play, they do actually change their jungles, at least through Demacia Cup, we should say as well. They have been interchanging them. And RNG, I believe, made a statement saying they want them to be fighting with each other for the spot to help each other get better specifically, not to try and beat each other out. So I would say that MLXG is backstage, ready to play, and it's on the coaching staff for that change. But more so, I would say draft strategy is the big thing that I would be implementing in a second game. Their comp was fine, but what did they want to get from it against IG's composition? It didn't really make complete sense, whilst their in-game shot calling was still fine.
Yeah, they were really banking on Rookie playing aggressive early on. He looks for solo kills the most out of any mid laner in the LPL, but Rookie played it safe, so compliments to him. I think he really carried the early part of that game.
And was able to do really well against Xiaohu, whose rise has been terrorizing solo queue in China. But for now, let's take a look at a replay coming in from the top lane earlier on in that match. I mean, it was a big team fight between IG as well as RNG. RNG looked like they were able to take this one back. It's actually the mid lane fight here with that first flank from Xiaohu.
Yeah, and this really starts with them seeing Ning on the right side of the map. They feel like they could go to 5v4, but you could see Karsaw missing his EQ combo in, and Xiaohu really doesn't have a good angle to engage. He's forced out by both of the carries. Ornn is there with them, and Abel gets hit by the Orianna ball right then and dies. This team fight is over.
And you mentioned earlier, Rusty, during the cast, that Abel was not able to get anything off from his ultimate, and then the stopwatch locking him down even longer as well. It didn't seem like the Vayne could do much in that team fight.
Yeah, that's the other big thing as well. Like, I don't think Abel played poorly by any means. I just don't think he was allowed to do a single thing, because there was a shockwave in front of him at any moment. Does he want to tumble forwards? Well, he can't. And if he's not going to tumble forwards, he's looking at an Ornn, and Tom Kench ate the Ornn. Like, there's actually nothing that Abel was allowed to do through that game. It's so hard to not say Abel twice.
And is this something we're going to see continued contested in the LPL for now, Clement? That Ornn on the top side of the map. We didn't see too much from Duke. There was no flashy plays from him, but was a very staple champion in every single team fight.
The reason we're seeing Ornn banned in competitive so heavily is because he gets a teleport advantage top lane. He goes to the bot lane with his extra teleport with his jungler. He brings 3 knockups, a 6-second brittle proc in the bot lane. He can wipe your bot lane 4v3 very, very easily, and that's too hard to prevent in a competitive environment, and that's why you see a lot of bans coming in for him.
And we saw it picked up as the first pick in that match earlier. Immediately responded with Jarvan as well as Rise Mode. Well, hello, that's a really strong pick coming from RNG. Didn't quite work out for Karsa and Xiaohu.
And it's not just the pick as well. You have to look at RNG's bans. Misfortune, Callista. Big question mark as to why they would prioritize those over something like the Ornn. And interestingly enough, anyway, when you watch RNG play against the Ornn, it felt like he did nothing. Like, it felt like Duke barely existed, and it was just the rest of the map that was the problem. So I do wonder in game number 2, will that even be changed at all? Did RNG actually feel any concern for that when Ming played so exceptionally against it?
And something that we've talked about backstage before is Invictus Gaming usually working with their jungle as well as top lane. But who is really the duo that we have to watch out from RNG? For now, though, man of the match is Rookie. And he played so well in that mid lane. Very staple player in the mid lane for IG in that match.
Yeah, he knew what the trap was. He didn't walk into it. I feel like his team fights were really good. He always had the eyes on the ball looking for Abel in those team fights. But he did have like a little overstep in the middle of the game. It didn't matter. He could still come back. Really clean game from IG right here, and they deserve it.
Yeah, only missing 1 killer assist through the whole game. Farmed well, did a lot of damage for his team. And again, we mentioned this before. We saw it in the replay. His ability to know when to throw the shockwaves and not actually hesitating. Even at level 6 when his jungler was mid lane, he just straight up goes for the play. And of course, speaking of one of these plays,
yeah, there's no hesitation at all. Like, you can see RNG do not see the Ezreal really pulling the ults. They walk into this Baron, and here it is.
Absolutely. So with the first pick there, IG, they actually get a chance here. And RNG, you might say that this play was weak from them. Perhaps it was a mistake, but you still could see what they were trying to do.
Yeah, they were just caught in a bad reset timing on the map. The enemy team already had control of Infernal Drake. They had to get something on the top side.
And from that moment, it really felt like it was good night RNG. IG were 10,000 gold ahead, picked up a Baron, 2 turrets mid lane, went to the inhibitor, and 3 Infernal Dragons. Although RNG were proactive throughout most of the game, there's not too much you could do from there, Rusty.
No, pretty clean, honestly, from IG with that lead.
It certainly was. Able to pick up a fantastically then pick up game number 1 against RNG. We're going to go to a very quick break. We're back with game 2 shortly.
这次万前期的 IG 的看法是没什么吧，就我觉得我们还是也会输，也会赢嘛。然后就是在比赛的赢，就是赢比赛、输比赛，并不是靠我们队友的实力，就是运气的，一定要看实力。然后也有的时候也看那个就是对面的，就是对手的，就是实力嘛，也有可能就是他们也会失误，所以我们就尽量不要就是不要出现失误，就稳定一点就可以了。所以我们这一次完全加埃及的看法没什么，就和平时打的差不多就可以了。
Well, Rookie was sounding pretty humble there. And he was like, well, we may win some games, may lose some games, but I think he just smashed it in game one. He takes that game one over RNG as well.
Oh man, who could have called that IG would just smash RNG?
That's not what you were saying when we were watching Champions League. You was like, oh, I don't know about this draft. So what actually went well for IG for us?
I think it was really execution based. I mean, Rookie said it himself. He used words like stable, like misplay, and those would never be words that you would hear. You'd hear misplay a lot when you watch previous Invictus gaming, but you'd never see stable. And Pulse, you and I were talking about it, just over there. We're like, you never see them play this slow or this controlled or have this type of macro performance. We always knew that Invictus gaming had the skill to beat any team, to just brute force for people. But did they have the brain to do it? And we finally saw it in game one there.
Yeah, and what I want to say is, like, I want to be absolved of my sins. I understand down that Demacia Cup is not the best place to judge teams because they did not play like this during the Cup, okay? They went aggressive everywhere. And this game, I really want to give props to Rookie. Again, he played it really reserved in the mid lane, did not give any sunlight to RNG.
And that's the thing. Rookie was so important because if you looked at RNG's composition, the only way they had a losing lane in top side, they had losing lane in bot side, was that Jarvan-Ryze combo. So Rookie had to play safe on the Orianna because he had the giant bullseye on him.
Now, I do want to talk about RNG real quick because we do have two substitutions. You can see one on the screen right now, and the crowd sees it as well. MLXG coming into the jungle here, replacing Karsa. And in the AD carry position, actually subbing out Abel after that first game when he picked Vayne. And we're actually going to Y4, another AD carry backup in the AD carry position.
So again, still questions about where Uzi is, what type of health he's in, when he's going to start. But Y4 has played pretty extensively with this lineup. Yes, he is no Uzi, but he is no stranger to playing alongside Xiaohu, MLXG, Let Me, and Ming. So he should fit better than maybe Abel, who had a bit of stage jitters is what it felt like.
Yeah, and I definitely feel nervous for Karsa right now because the mid-jungle synergy is going to be put to the test. If they can show up big and really push Rookie and Ning overboard, I feel like MLXG has much better chances of securing a starting position.
It's definitely a playstyle difference as well, because we were talking about this pre-game on how MLXG, you do get those highs, and maybe that's what they actually need to break open the mid lane. Because for us, I know we were talking backstage, it's like this should be a mid lane that goes well, then you get those rotations to bot lane. So do you think this is actually going to be a positive thing now for the RNG lineup?
As long as he actually changes up style. We saw more of a tank Jarvan, and MLXG also plays a tank style. We need a carry.
All right, thanks for us. We're now going to send it over to Casters for Game 2 and the call. We'll see you after this.
Thanks, guys. We're about to get into the second match of this best of 3 series. RNG taking on Invictus Gaming. And it was a very one-sided affair again.
I lost my notes. Everything's gone. It was one-sided. I was in a rush. But you're right. It was a one-sided game one. IG looked pretty commanding. I'm very impressed with them. I think that's one thing that I would say for certain. I wasn't sure what to expect from IG. Again, a lot of expectations were tapered from Demacia Cup specifically, and they didn't look great in Demacia Cup. Jackie Love looked like there was some serious signs of weakness, and that's the thing. Expectations being tapered from Demacia Cup. Can you really do that? Can you really do that at all?
Yeah, we'll have to see what's going to happen in this second game, because we saw early on, Abel picked up the Vayne. We went into Champions like, yep, I'm going to be exactly like Uzi, and now he's being subbed out of the match. It's not Uzi that's coming in, it's Y4 that's coming in.
Yeah, Y4. Uzi's not here today. I guess that answers the question for all of us. Y4, we have seen him play before. He was there during Rift Rivals and for all of the weeks leading up to that for RNG when Uzi had an injury and he wasn't actually able to compete for them, the wrist injury that he had, of course. So Y4, we know that he's good. We know that he's got a lot of capabilities. Champions like Callista are something that you'll have to keep your eye on for him. Something that was actually banned in the last game, and we do have to see how he goes now.
Then we have MLXG coming in as well over Casa, which is a little bit of a surprise because, again, Abel and MLXG, Abel and Casa didn't necessarily play bad in that game.
No, he wasn't bad. I mean, Casa felt lackluster because he didn't do anything, but he didn't do anything wrong, I guess is the way that you'd have to look at it. He won his smite battles, he seemed okay. MLXG for me is the big one, whilst Abel was kind of just Abel. He was fine. I feel like MLXG coming in as a bit more of a wild card, and I like that they've changed their AD carries with their junglers. Again, at the start of the day, we said maybe it's a duo thing. Maybe Casa is actually just going to exist when Abel does, and then they swap it as a duo.
Well, no swaps coming in from Invictus Gaming. They seem happy with their lineup for game number 1. They're going to keep it for the second match here. We're going into Champion Select for the second game of this best 3 series. Royal never gives up against Invictus Gaming. A couple bans already being thrown out. Zoe going to be banned out here by RNG, as well as Tom Kench hitting the bench, whereas On and Camille will be banned out by Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, Zoe going once again. Tom Kench, not a surprise to see that it's going to hit the bench as well. IG played very well with it, very well around the fact that he has so much mobility. Very impressive stuff from Baolan. But for the rest of the team, when you look at the bans, you look at what's changed. Misfortune, Callista going to be gone, and perhaps that was just a red side RNG strategy.
Potentially. See what the final ban is going to be from these two teams. RNG going to be able to take away Misfortune here. They don't want Jackie Love to be picking it up. Could potentially be a support pick.
Yeah, they're super afraid of Misfortune, and don't get me wrong, MF is super strong, but they are very afraid of it. You have to look at the other champions that are there. RNG, they don't get Ornn because IG have taken it away. They still have their preferences.
They lock in Jarvan immediately for MLXG. So they're keeping the same champion in the jungle, just different player this time.
Azir is the other one as well. When you look at champions that aren't going to be banned, IG got rid of it last time, and you have to wonder if they're afraid of it. Rookie can play it, you would have to imagine, but he has his preferences to things like Orianna, being able to hit those big shockwaves, and this is the other champion that you have to mention.
Callista gets locked in here from Jackie Love to pair up with Baolan in the bottom lane. We'll have to see what support of choice is going to be tethered to her in the bottom lane. Invictus Gaming now with their second pick of choice to go up against the Jarvan. We could potentially see Rise being taken away from Xiaohu here.
Always a possibility, but nope, they are going to keep it Shuriman and they're going to go towards the Azir. Talking towards that Callista point as well, Fish, what I like from IG is that they locked in the Callista earlier. We know it's a high priority champion and was at Worlds. Of course, you were never allowed to see it, but by picking Callista first, any support you want is the real answer, right? You want to be aggressive, you want to have a Thresh, sure. You want to be defensive and have something like a Braum that can also be offensive because it's Callista, go for gold.
Whereas Xiaohu, once again, will be picking up Rise, heading into the mid lane against Rookie's Azir. RNG now have to show their final pick for the first rotation. Alistar was a ban during the second rotation, so that's being hovered over.
Yeah, of course, a good duo with Callista to be taken away by RNG here. They don't have an AD carry locked in for themselves. They've locked in the support though, so the AD carry pool is something that can be focused if IG choose to do so in the second ban phase for themselves.
Could potentially force IG to pick up a support here to prevent RNG from narrowing down that pool to work with Callista, and that gets locked in. Braum, the support of choice for Baolan in the bottom lane to go with Jackie Love's Callista.
And you're right, good focus from IG to prioritize the support, but then you look at the roles that they have left open, the jungler and the top laner. IG now Duke can play tanks. They didn't actually sub in the Shy, who is the more aggressive member of the team, let's say. We know Duke's got Fiora and things like that in his back pocket if he chooses, but he's more of the tank guy.
And you were spot on, Rusty. Immediately, Invictus Gaming moved to ban out the 80 carry pool, taking away Ezreal, who in the last match for Jackie Lowe was able to acquire a massive gold lead for himself, just off of first turret as well as Kleptomancy. Kha'Zix's going to hit the bench as well for RNG.
Kha'Zix ban's a good one. Again, the jungle pool being shrunk by RNG away from IG, with the jungler already locked in for themselves. MLXG, by going once again towards the aggressive jungler. Ning doesn't like his tanks, doesn't want to play his tanks, so they get rid of offensive champions from IG to try and inhibit him further. Lee Sin, also a champion that could follow here.
Final ban from Invictus Gaming is going to be Jin with Season 8 hitting us here on Summoner's Rift. Lethality did get pushed back in, which is why we see Misfortune. It's why we see Jin being picked up, banned out by IG.
And whether it was an adaptation or not from RNG, the Jin is going to be removed, so they're not allowed to adapt in the same way. They have the scaling mid laner that has a pretty strong one-item spike, and they prevent the early strength from the AD carry role.
Final ban is going to be Lee Sin, taking away from Ning. Invictus Gaming will have their first pick to go up against RNG.
Which role will they prioritize? Of course, they could counter-pick top lane if they want for Duke, if they want to pick something aggressive, or they can keep that in the jungle, but they know the matchup already, so IG's expectations probably lock in the jungler.
That'd be an
This would be
interesting
very
choice.
curious.
It's someone we haven't seen in a long time, Rusty. Ivan gets locked in for Ning in the jungle.
The friend of the forest is going to be locked in by Ning, and this is mostly curious, to be perfectly honest with you. I know Ivan can be decent. We've seen a couple of strong things running around, of course, with all the new runes that have come out to shield and support your AD carries. And when your AD carries something like the Kalista, I guess there is merit behind the strategy. Not a lot of damage to be seen, however, from IG, besides the Azir and the Kalista, and they're banking on that scaling.
Ooh, and Vladimir gets locked in here for RNG. A last-second swap for what the hover of the Tristana was. And that will be heading into the top lane for Let Me.
Yeah, it will. That took me a second. It's Flandre. Is the unsealed spellbook Vladimir is most likely the direction that this one's going to go. I have to see where Let Me does go with it.
There's always the potential for Rise in the top lane, but we haven't seen that in a long time. Tristana still gets locked in for Y4 in the bottom lane.
By no means a bad champion. Actually, traditionally quite good into Kalista. So for the matchup itself, it seems like RNG have gone for a stronger 2v2. They knew their matchup, they picked accordingly. They didn't go Vayne. I like it.
We'll have to see what the final pick is going to be here for Invictus Gaming. It's the double tree comp as Maokai and Ivan are on the top side of the map. Let Me played it last game, and it's now Duke's turn to pick up the champion.
And that is another tank, to say the least, for IG. They've got the Braum, Ivern, and they've got the Maokai. There's a lot of damage from the two remaining members of IG when you look at the holistic team composition. But already you can tell the strategy from IG is to get mid and bottom going, to go down there, to teleport down there. And that should be the majority of their focus, because they're up against a Vladimir who will be running Ignite, so that is presumably unsealed spellbook to change later because he wants to win lane. He's up against a Rise that does want to push and control mid lane as best he can here. Rookie versus Xiaohu in the mid lane. Yeah, RNG, I like their composition just as much.
Well, Rusty, we've already gotten the analyst desk's thoughts on Kasa and MLXG. We talked a little bit about Kasa in that last match, but what are your thoughts between these two junglers? Because we're going to be able to see both of them play here today.
And we know that Kasa's good when he, as Clement mentioned on the start of the day, that when he comes to diving, he's very clean. When he gets the lead, he's very good at closing out games. But the question mark there was always, can he withstand a game when he's losing? Game one says no, a resounding no at that. And swapping in MLXG, a bit more of that wild card player, can make some big plays, can make some tragic plays, depending on how he feels on the day and in the very moment. For me, that's the difference, is you know what you're going to get with Kasa. You don't really know what you're going to get with MLXG. He's a bit like Forrest Gump. Or the box of chocolates, not specifically Forrest Gump, I suppose.
Well, we'll have to see which chocolate he's going to pull out here today, Rusty. MLXG is going to be stepping onto the rift.
He's Harry Potter. Right, I said it.
Well, let's see what spell he's going to pull out, Rusty, instead in the jungle here, up against Ning. Picking up a very unconventional pick of Ivan, but moving into the mid lane, Rookie against Xiaohu. Rookie was the MVP of that match, the last match we saw. Xiaohu on a comfortable champion again. Rookie will be comfortable on the Azir, but will we see him be a bit more aggressive this time around? Now he's on the Emperor from Shurima.
It's pretty hard to just outright be more aggressive compared to what he was. He's playing a control mage. He's switched to a equally match range control mage in the Azir. He's up against the Rise, so the matchup for him anyway will stay the same, just not the 1v1 between them. There's the crowd very much in support of their teams. It's nice to actually be here for the first time and hear that live as well.
Well, we are on to the Rift for the second match of this best-of-3 series. Royal Never Give Up against Invictus Gaming. Once more, both teams are going to fan out across the river, just scout out for any potential invades coming out from either side.
It should be a very reserved early game. When you're up against an Ivern, you want to be able to invade him if you can, but you don't really feel like it's that achievable when there is a Maokai running around. Does he have saplings in a bush? Can Azir spot them out? I know mid laners are able to see each other currently. The Unsealed Spellbook Vladimir has a bit of extra control in lane, but not necessarily at a level 1 trade. He doesn't have the teleport, so they can't make big plays. And so now we get to watch Ning. Where does he want to go? What does he want to do on his Ivern?
Well, he starts off at the Raptor camp and preps red buff without spining that, so he's still at level 1. That's spotted out by a ward placed down by Let Me.
Yeah, and it's a good ward from Let Me. You can actually watch MLXG in contrast to that now, knowing that the red buff hasn't been started. Usually when you're watching an Ivern play, if they prepare the red buff and they don't commit to finishing it, well then he's going towards the blue buff. He's going to smite the blue, and then he's going to come back to the other side of the rift, which gives an opportunity for MLXG to go in, be aggressive, and go forwards. However, they've also spotted him.
He's been spotted out by a ward that was placed down very early into the game by Rookie. Moves into the jungle,
what he's doing.
But he does not try to take any of the camps. He is just waiting for Ning. Ning is going to walk into this trap, but bottom lane's going to fight. But let's take a look at this jungle fight. MLXG finds him, gets a few auto attacks down, knock up on towards the Ivern as well. He's running towards the Raptors, tries to get the spike, jumps over the red buff. He does the do-si-do. He gets both camps as well and lives to tell the tale. What the heck was that, Ning?
Ning's a genius. He's a mad scientist. I have no idea what was going through his mind in those milliseconds that he was being killed by MLXG. That was, go forwards and take my camps. That sounds like a great idea.
MLXG's still trying to find him in the jungle and has no idea where this Ivern's run to. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Xiaohu and Rookie going toe-to-toe. Both of them low. Rookie's in trouble. Flashes away. He'll be popped by Xiaohu, but he doesn't go forward for the kill.
You'd say ultimately it was just summoner spells traded, but it's actually Rookie being upset in this lane, losing complete control and actually having to recall, where Xiaohu gets to push in, get a free recall. So Rise, very strong start through this mid lane simply from the 1v1, but it's a byproduct. Rookie had to go in, had to help his jungler, and that's where this happens.
Ning returns to the bottom side of his jungle as well. He's level 3, flying through all his camps now, whereas MLXG, confused, walked around the camps for a bit, now finally back in his jungle, low on mana, low on health as well. Somehow Ning has created an advantage situation for himself.
The unfortunate thing here for RNG is just the jungle. Like, Xiaohu doing well in mid lane. Top lane was pushed in by Let Me as well. He's gone the Ignite. He wants the lane control. And bottom lane's doing perfectly fine, except Kalista does have a CS advantage. So they're not winning, but they're doing fine. MLXG could have been the extra thing, the additive there that wins everywhere on the Rift. They can win mid, jungle the top, and then just bring all of it down towards the bottom lane and snowball the game. Not to be. Not to be.
Well, MLXG is looking for a gank in this mid lane. Rookie does have cleanse available, but no flash on the Azir.
See how Xiaohu uses his shield there as well, simply to run forwards, not to clear the wave. Throws a Q sideways, and it wasn't actually a miss, it was intentional.
This is something we see Rookie do a lot of the LPL, standing on top of the opposition's ranged minions to zone out the opposition's mid laner.
It's that needless aggression, it's the step up.
And Xiaohu going aggressive once more. Gets the shield. Good trades against Rookie. Rookie trying to fight back as much as possible and stay relevant in this mid lane.
Doesn't look super comfortable on his Azir right now. Is just mostly looking to farm and hit that late game as Duke. He's feeling it.
Yeah, he's smacking Let Me there as the big tree he is. Not allowing the Vladimir to bully him in the top lane. Is behind in CS though.
MLXG. He's level 3. He's got long swords. He doesn't have a lot else. And he's on a ward. Ning may just see that as the Ivern with mobility boots just run around the jungle and take everything that belongs to Jarvan.
Well, he's moving towards the top side of the map. No wards have really spotted him out just yet. Let Me is pushed up quite far ahead.
So super difficult to get the kill on.
Jump straight on top of the Vladimir, trying to get as much damage as possible. But it isn't Ivan, and there he goes. Brings Duke the double tree gank. Let Me will be able to waltz away, though. Just takes a bit of damage.
He does take enough to warrant a recall, however, if he chooses, and he will, of course, go back right now. It's the Spell Thief's Vladimir as well, so completely into the support tree. Wants to go straight towards the Twin Ghosts as MLXG.
Looking for the revenge. Ning just jukes him left, right, and center, and MLXG once again forced to walk away.
You can't catch those fancy feet.
And Jackie Love has been knocked back by Ming, tries to kite away from this Alistar, instead jumps straight back in towards Y4 as well, as Ming gets as much spears into the duo as possible, but he's going to have to walk around the long way now.
You'd have to imagine that Ming was trying to headbutt him towards the wall as well to lock him in place to maybe threaten the Pulverize. He might get a flash out of Jackie Love, but super calm, super reserved, knows exactly what he needs to do to get out of the sticky situation. And it wasn't that bad after all. As the bottom lane still stays about how it was a few minutes ago.
And teleport is used by Let Me towards the top side of the map. Duke used his as well to get back into that lane and continue farming against one another. Xiaohu's heal has come back off of cooldown.
Where the flash is not.
Rookie still waiting for that summoner spell to come back up, but no punishment coming out from either jungler just yet. Just has led to a slight CS lead in favor of Xiaohu.
And Ning's just ticked over to level 5 in the experience difference between junglers, and that's obviously the place that you have to direct a lot of attention towards with MLXG's early cheese. Now he's attempting to catch up, even clearing the wolf camp. He's not going to be 5. Big lead for Ning. We'll have Daisy soon and be able to run around and try and threaten some structures.
See Ming there trying to hold them anyway for as long as possible for Y4 to try and get back into this lane. And previously we used to see Ivan pick up, you know, back when we had Runes and Masteries, Windspeaker's Blessing, go for the support-based items like Locket and Redemption. What is Ivan's role in a team composition now?
It's just a support and peel. He's always just going to do a very similar thing. I'm not sure where he'll go with itemization. And I would love to see the runes that he's gone towards besides the Keystone, of course. You can see the Keystone on your screens now. Just to see how he may itemize or play the game out. But he wants to do a little bit of damage, where mostly, though, it's just keep Jackie Love alive, keep Rookie alive, and maybe even enable Baolan and Duke to go forwards with the shield that he can put on people as well. Right now, he's just duo queuing with Daisy. She is the shield. He is the weapon. Now he eats gingerbreads. Why are we showing this? Thank God.
Well, Ning's just power farming as much as he can through the jungle. MLXG trying to stay relevant, is slightly behind in experience. As Spell Thief's Edge gets picked up by Ning in the jungle.
Yeah, the Twin Ghosts, something that you've been seeing on a lot of Nidalees, running around in the jungle as well. Ning's able to do the exact same thing on his Ivan. It does make him very squishy to complement the boots of mobility that the Ivan's running around with as well. But aside from that, it's rather efficient. He'll get some items sooner. He'll be strong sooner and be able to support the rest of his team in a different way.
Well, he's still just running around with Daisy. Looking to try and keep as much control on his side of the jungle as possible. Did donate red buff over towards Maokai. That should help him with health regeneration in the top lane against the Vladimir.
Yeah, definitely should. Top lane doesn't really look like anyone's going to die anytime soon from now on, just because of the itemization they've now picked up. Pure magic resistance, and again another Twin Ghost from Let Me, who has switched to teleport. And we can see it.
Teleport's going to come back off of cooldown soon. Jackie Love actually trying to flash away from Ming here. Gets locked down. Xiaohu piles in as well. Y4 with good damage. Jackie Love trying to run away. Buster shot. First blood picked up by Y4.
The fade away from the Tristana. So many flashes used in that engage. 4 different flashes unavailable. Let Me the only person who doesn't contribute. The teleport's there. And that's a teleporting advantage for RNG, where Duke does not have one for himself respectively. And here comes the play.
RNG trying to take down this bottom lane outer turret. Ivan is here, throws down Daisy, looking to try and stop them from taking that one.
Daisy.
Y4 might get knocked up here if Daisy keeps chasing on forward. Me going for the fight as well. Daisy, that's the MVP of this game right now.
It's the angriest looking cupcake you've ever seen. MLXG is just casually recalling. Y4 is just...
Oh, stop him. Oh. Daisy's not happy. Meanwhile, stopwatch used by Let Me on the top side of the map.
You have to wonder why the stopwatch was used. There was no one else nearby. Did he really feel like he was going to die? Of course, we get the replay of all of this early flash from Jackie Love. He's acknowledged that everyone's on the way. And with 4 flashes pretty much immediately used to go forwards and aggressive on him. Good awareness from Y4 to know how much damage was needed to be able to do the fadeaway.
Gets the first kill of the game, but they're only about 500 to 600 gold up over Invictus Gaming. We're still waiting to see what this Ivan team composition really means for IG, or if these substitutions pay off for RNG. Duke now in some trouble as MLXG jumps over the wall. But just some damage coming out from the Jarvan. No follow-up from Let Me in the top side of the map.
Yeah, more so just protecting his control ward, it felt like there, MLXG. Wants to keep some safety on the top side of the map for the Vladimir, continue the scaling up there, and try and hope that no one goes and assists it whatsoever to allow them to focus on the rest of the map, where they were able to give the first blood over to the Tristana, where they're able to give some extra assistance and some pressure towards Xiaohu in the mid lane 1v1. The rookie doesn't feel all that clean right now on his Azir at the moment. Does really feel out of sorts watching him play.
He's slightly behind against Xiaohu in CS and mid lane, but not by a drastic amount. Tear of the Goddess as well as Catalyst and Protector have been picked up by Rise. As Y4 does get his BF sword, and Zeal gets the free boot, has a free stopwatch as well if he needs it.
Yeah, again, trying to be as efficient as they possibly can through the rune choices, through their itemization they get from those runes. And IG are the first team to move up this river and start making some aggressive plays. The control ward line, it's well and truly there, and they've set themselves in stone. They want to make a play around that objective, or they want to use the river to dive the bottom lane, bring Rookie down, because he has a clear path. There's a runway that he can walk down.
Ning makes his way down into the bottom lane, but is spotted out by a ward that was previously placed down by RNG.
Now still pretty quick turnaround between Ning seeing it and Ning backing away. Once again, yeah.
Xiaohu as well as Rookie going toe-to-toe in the mid lane, both just pushing against one another, trying to pick fights wherever they can. Ning still trying to pick up blue buff and donate that one over towards the mid laner. She'll happily pick up. Xiaohu though being really aggressive here, moving deep in towards IG's jungle. MLXG is going to be able to find Ivan though. Ning trying to cut this one out, knocked back by the Alistar, and RNG pick up another kill.
So close to being in a position where he can flash away. Ning doesn't get the opportunity, doesn't get to the structures, and RNG, they're able to completely turn the tides of the vision control in the river by just walking past the river to the next best thing, and that's just killing Ning in his own jungle.
Top side of the map, Duke duking out against Let Me, already pushing the Vladimir down to about half health.
Well, Let Me is a tickle monster at the moment for Duke. Doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. They just want to clear waves, and
Jackie Love in trouble once more. There goes the Alistar into the back line. Jackie Love trying to cut this one out, but Y4 jumps straight on top of his head. Lots of spears being thrown in, but MLXG gets that kill.
Super well done from Ming and from Y4. Xiaohu also was nearby if they wanted to threaten a dive further onto Baolan, who has to back away and show some respect. And that should be the first turret as well. Once again, RNG, they've set themselves up nicely even after an awkward early game through the jungle. And they've just progressed and grown that lead.
It's given them a nice 3,000 gold lead over Invictus Gaming. Xiaohu, though, pushed in heavily by Rookie underneath his own turret.
Starting to finally get his feet down in this mid lane, Rookie. That's important, and again, a lot of that is because Xiaohu leaves the mid lane, tries to contribute with the rest of his team. Rookie's trying to keep IG in it, and Duke still forwards.
Yeah, still trying to take down Let Me here. Ning is on the top side of the map. Let Me trying to do the do-si-do. Daisy goes one way, Ivan goes the other. Still trying to cut this one out, and the Maokai is slowly winning this fight.
Get Daisy back in there.
Daisy is going to town. One more auto attack would get that knock up. Good ghosts come out from Let Me, gonna stop them. Forces the flash out of the Vladimir.
They do just flayed trashes. They didn't flayed any trashes. They just traded flashes in the end. Like, Let Me's able to get out alive. They did a do-si-do for about 10 odd seconds. And by that time, Ming's even here now. They've got the bottom lane structure. They've rotated their duo to the top side of the map. It was a small window of opportunity for IG to maybe get a pick. The best they get is a single summoner.
MLXG again going for a gank in the mid lane, gets good damage onto Rookie. Shurima shuffles over the wall. Good ultimate to knock back the Jarvan as well.
Yes, but Rookie doesn't have anything left now in the way of making plays. He's got the flash, he's got the cleanse, he's going to be alive and recall, but he's recall. So IG, they don't get to defend the middle lane whilst top is being traded with bottom. You're seeing Jackie Love push it currently. RNG win in 2 places though.
They do. IG do get a single turret for themselves, but RNG propel themselves even further ahead against IG in this second match of the best of 3 series.
And how it's traded back and forth to feel much more one-sided towards RNG in game number 2 from what was a pretty clean game 1 from IG. Swapping junglers could not do this much.
Moving very aggressively in this top lane against Duke, who has not spotted out the trio from RNG. Still waiting underneath his own turret.
And again, a high priority on static Shiv rushes from AD carries here. In game number 1 it was Abel, game 2 it's Y4. RNG love their static shivs. They do have a damage item with it, to be fair, but it's nice mixed damage to have for them.
IG make their way towards the first elemental dragon of the game, which is going to be an ocean dragon. Duke still trying to hold top lane inner turret against Y4 and Ming, whilst MLXG looking to try and take down Rift Herald for himself.
Yeah, the Rift Herald will be there. MLXG will have that perfectly fine. IG are able to get that objective, but at what cost is always going to be the answer, or the question we should be asking at this stage in the game. Top lane inner turret, far more valuable than a Drake that is an ocean Drake.
That's a 5,000 gold lead for RNG now. Just 16 minutes into this match, and slowly snowballing ahead against Invictus Gaming.
Has he got Unsealed Spellbook? He does. He switched to Ghost. He's got Ghost Flash Alistar. Thank you, spectators, for showing us that. I didn't actually notice the Unsealed Spellbook for a little bit there. Ming has gone all in on mobility. When he's engaging, you are going to hear the stampede.
We have Let Me as well, switching over towards Ghost on the top side of the map.
Yeah, he's gone between Ignite, Teleport, now to Ghost, which is usually the Vladimir's final form as summoner spells go. If desperate and losing, you may see the occasional Exhaust switch towards, but I think it's important to point out that Ming has gone towards Ghost because they're snowballing, just because there's not a lot of damage threat on the other side of the team. They've got a Maokai, an Ivern, and a Braum, so 3 people on that team aren't going to be dealing damage. If you're engaging as Alistar, then you lock down one, if not both, of the carries. No one's able to actually deal damage. Exhaust, whilst it's still very good to have, don't get me wrong, Ghost just helps engaging on them easier when your team is starting to snowball.
Xiaohu's picked up Teleport as well on the rise.
3 spellbooks.
3 unsealed spellbooks for RNG coming into this game. Ning going to be able to pick up blue buff here, donates the second half over to Rookie. IG still slowly bleeding out in this match, and yet to make a proactive play for themselves.
They do need to do something. Now, they've got the Nashor's Tooth for Rookie. He's finally been able to complete a full item, so he'll be doing a lot of damage to those that he is able to hit. Again, the team composition of RNG, their tank is Alistar with ultimate. If it's not that, it's Rise. And that's the curious thing when you look at the whole comp. Rise has switched to Teleport. It feels like he's now the one that's going to go to the top lane and start to deal with the Maokai because he has the Abyssal Mask. You can already see him on the bottom side of the map specifically. They want to do what feels like a 1-3-1, but to me it's mostly around threatening the Baron as it starts to spawn. We're still too early in the game for that currently, so RNG are able to make some bigger plays.
Let's see what those plays are going to be. Meanwhile, Xiaohu, bottom side of the map, looking for Rookie. Finds him inside the bush, but Ming, there we go, predicts the flash, knocks back Jackie Love, and Y4 gets auto attack after auto attack on him. Pop goes to Kalista, and RNG get a pick.
Ming has Ghost, he knows exactly what the game plan is and just scares the daylights out of Jackie Love. The cavalry comes in from Let Me as well, and suddenly RNG with the Herald, everything just cascades and comes together almost seamlessly. Now, they don't get the turret, but they do have to bring Rookie here, IG, to help defend, which means the bottom lane gets poked as well, and they're all just starting to get whittled away further and further. RNG, specifically Ming, that was nice.
Looking good on the Alistar in game number 2 here. RNG rotate down towards the bottom lane, keeping Y4 and Let Me in the mid lane, but that's a fight started out by Duke here. Ultimate comes out from Azir, knocking it back. MLXG uses that stopwatch. Rookie in trouble. MLXG slides away, gets taken down by the Braum. Xiaohu will use his own stopwatch to get back to safety.
A fair amount of overreaching from RNG does mean that Invictus Gaming will lock down a kill in the end, so it's good for IG to get that. But it's a 47-second cooldown till Baron even spawns. IG did that as a defensive mechanism, trying to defend structures that RNG were overextending towards. But we got to watch Ming. He knows exactly what Jackie Love's going to do, even before he thinks about it.
Read him like a book, and Let Me comes in to get that ultimate off. Small has a bit more damage to pick up that kill against Jackie Love. Not having a great game here on the Kalista. 0-3 being picked on by this Alistar.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is he having a bad game, or is everyone else on RNG just having a good game killing him? Very hard to differentiate between sometimes, but from what we just saw from Ming, from what we've been seeing from all of RNG with the pressure they're putting down to the bottom lane, you don't feel like there's anything that Jackie Love could realistically be doing to make his performance any better so far.
Now it's a 7,000 gold lead for RNG. Baron is up and online. Infernal Drake is the next elemental dragon to spawn. 6 turrets to 1. Still in favor of RNG. Xiaohu moves towards the top side of the map, whereas Let Me now swip pushing on the bottom lane.
Yeah, they've actually put the swap down towards the bottom side. Vladimir not having the teleport and Rise being on the top side means that if they look at Baron, they wouldn't have all 5 members there. Duke does have the teleport, though, as Xiaohu spots.
Patient coming out from Xiaohu.
Where else are they going to be, Fish? There's no one in the middle lane right now. I feel like they're trying to kill me. I should use my scrying or...
Spots him out. Rookie then returns straight back towards top side of map. Continues to push back the wave against Xiaohu. Vision control over Baron is in favor of RNG now.
And then the Infernal Drake is the other thing that he's just quickly hit on as well. The fact that Vladimir is on the bottom side of the map and the teleport's on the top side should mean that it's a free Infernal Drake to take. Maokai's on the bottom side of the map, so Baron's the threat. And that's the way you would actually do this. If you see IG recalling for wards, you take Baron. If you see all of IG moving towards the Baron slowly, you can send just the Tristana if you'd like, with Ming even, just to take the Drake for free.
IG still have good initiation coming to this game with Azir, Kalista, Braum, Maokai all being picked up. We'll have to see if they're able to use it to make any proactive plays against RNG, but still so far behind in gold. Might not be the best time for them to try and pick a fight.
And things that we're looking for here for RNG, which is nice to see, is that there was only 2 of them at the Drake. They're not committing to doing it as well. They want to see where IG go. There's still the end goal of something far more important, and that's the purple worm over at the pit. They do want to get that.
They do look to see if they can get a pick onto a Xiao here. Locked down by the Braum. Flashes away. So that's a crucial summoner spell being blown by the mid laner from RNG. But here comes MLXG in the back line. Ming! What a beast knockoff coming out from the Alistar as MLXG goes in and says, come on and slam. Jackie Love trying to kite this one out, but Let Me is unstoppable in the back lines. Duke gets taken down by Y4, and 1 by 1 Invictus Gaming members fall.
This Alistar is absolutely insane right now from Ming. Y4, you just calm down and walk over to the Baron, mate. You just ease up a little bit. They should be able to walk straight over as they would like an easy Baron to be secured. Most importantly for RNG, we will see the replay sooner or later, and it was just clean as a whistle from Ming once again.
Ming just letting everyone from IG know that, you know what, game 1's over. I'm warmed up now and I'm ready to play coming into game number 2. As Ning, his former teammate, looks to try and go for a steal, but Y4 just pops over the pit, cuts down the tree, and it's going to be Baron going to RNG.
Ning steps up, Y4 puts him back into his place, and this time it's with a grey screen to boot. Balan, the start of this is nice because they get the flash from Xiaohu, but then they put themselves into a small choke, and MLXG sees it, and you're like, oh, the Jarvan's coming. But realistically, it was just Ming making all of these plays. Again, unsealed spellbook with the flash cooldown as well from an Alistar. He's just constantly engaging, constantly going forwards and making plays. It's able to win RNG the game. Perfect example of that, and that was twice in a row.
So now the shoe's on the other foot. RNG are the one with the 23-minute lead. 48,000 to 38,000 gold. 8 kills to 1. IG not looking too good in game number 2, and RNG are the ones that are pushing towards the base of Invictus Gaming. We already questioned the Ivan pick coming into this match. It really hasn't done too much for IG so far.
No, it really has not. Of course, it didn't start poorly by any means, and it's relying on the rest of your team being strong because you're just a support champion. You want to hit the Qs, you know, help your team go forwards and engage. You want to throw the shields on Jackie Love, but he's 0-4. Their mid laner, Rookie, even in that last fight, just completely zoned away by Xiaohu because he's gone towards the Abyssal Mask on his Rise. So as a 1v1 is concerned, you'd give that to the Rise as long as they're able to be in a range where they're hitting each other. And Xiaohu zones him away even without the flash.
So, RNG still have Let Me running around in the bottom lane. Rise has gone back to base, picked up Ghosts for himself as he moves towards top side of the map, empowering all the minions pushing on his side. Only base turrets are left for IG here. Have to defend inside their own base.
All of these Ghosts can only mean one thing, Fish. They're done with split pushing, they're done with teleporting, those days are over. They're running at you. They are diving you.
Oh, they've got Y4 on a Tristana. There's the Rise ultimate
Alistar
coming in. Oh, look at me. He's in the back lines already. Not able to get a good target here, but Duke in some trouble. Not going to get kicked back just yet. The Alistar still angry. May just get taken down. A little bit of an overreach coming out from RNG, but they get the mid lane inhibitor turret. They get the inhibitor, and IG decide it's time to fight.
MLXG
in the back lines.